Good afternoon, everybody. Time for another BrickBucks update. Once again, my name is Jim, and this is where we talk about Lego investing and reselling. So, quick announcement before we get into the topic today. We will be doing our first BrickBucks live feed on YouTube Wednesday at 9 p.m. It is going to be me, Shane, and another guest, and we are going to be talking about BrickLink. We are hoping to have future BrickBucks live feeds via YouTube, so just stay tuned for that. So today's video, we are going to talk about, does size matter? Does size matter? I have talked about smaller sets or medium-sized sets being, I don't want to use the word superior, but when it comes to your return on investment being better. And I don't think I've ever gave specific examples and shown people what I'm talking about. So that's what this video is going to talk about. I have picked a few sets at random, some of these that I have owned, and then there's also some sets that I haven't owned, but it had a lot of chatter on the Lego forums many years ago, so I thought I would include that in there. So just to recap, you know, back in 2012, the business model to have the most return on investment was to pretty much purchase any large set. And when I say large, I'm talking about $200 or more. And then you hold on to it for a year or two, and after it retires, you'll have the best return on investment. Not necessarily the case now. For me, the Lego Simpsons house was the last large set that I bought. After that Q4, I said to myself, you know what, I think I'm going to pivot a little bit. I'm going to change my business model just a little bit. And so I started to go to the mid-size sets and the smaller sets. So the last thing I want to do is death by camel on this video, but I do just want to run through a few things. So right now we have the Lego Simpsons house, set number 71006, and you can see when you go to camel, it's not bad. The problem with this set is it retailed for $200. Okay, so it retailed for $200, and then, you know, at the time there really weren't a lot of discounts. You could have got discounts. It says right here that you could have got this set at least one time on Amazon for $152. So that's not too bad, but you know, these sets retired years ago, and I am going to be putting these sets up against sets that just retired in 2019. So the larger sets have had years and years and years to sit on the shelf and collect hopefully a decent return on investment, and we're going to pit them up against smaller sets that have only been on the shelf for about a year and compare it that way. So that was the Simpson house. The next one is the Tumbler, and you know, I've talked about this before, that you know, this set unexpectedly retired, and when it did, I was watching this live on BrickPicker. There were just so many BrickPicker folks that were running to the stores trying to get this at full price. So let's take a look at this. Now, you know, granted, this, and you know, it is what it is. This set has a COVID bump. There might be some 2019 sets that might have COVID bumps. But from here to here, that is just an awesome chart. But from here to here, there's really not a lot going on. And, you know, keep in mind, this was a set that retailed for $200. And then you're, you know, somewhere around $300. Not necessarily the best thing. So the Helicarrier I never purchased, but I added this because this was a set that I saw people on the Lego forums going bonkers over. And I'm looking at this, and I think it retailed for $350. We'll see that when we go to the Excel. But I mean, just take a look at this. If it did go from $350 to, you know, $815, and it does look like that the recommended retail price was $350. I mean, if that's what you want to do and that's your business model, God bless. But I'm trying to get a high return on investment in the shortest amount of time and then go ahead and wash and repeat. So that's what I like doing. So these are sets that retired in 2019. Right now we're in April. Oh my gosh, we're in April. So these have sat on the shelf more than a year. I would actually probably say just about a year, because whenever sets retire, there's usually 1 or 2 runs, and you could continue to get these sets for a couple months after their retirement. So look at this. I mean, this is a beautiful chart. Boom, right there, off to the races. Not exactly sure what this was right here. Maybe there was some extra inventory. Not entirely sure, but that corrected very quickly, and then it did great again. The pineapple dots here. This is what I did, folks. This set has not retired, and I believe there's a couple of people out there that know this, but this was a set that sold out during, I can't remember, I want to say it was either Q4 or COVID. We'll see that when we go to the camel. And I said to myself, how fun would this be if the pineapple dot set beat the Batmobile tumbler when it comes to ROI? And this set hasn't even retired yet. Wouldn't that be extraordinary? Well, let's go ahead and take a look a little bit later on our Excel. So the return on investment here is very decent. I mean, and I'm doing my comparisons at recommended retail price, but you could get this set right now for $16, and it went as high as $50. So that is very good. And then we have this set right here. I actually own quite a bit of these. This is the Lego Speed Champions Ferrari. I love this set. This set was great. It retailed, I believe, for $14 and change, and right now it is going for $45. So we have not a bad return on investment. This was a set that was on the shelf for about a year. So let's go to the Excel, and this is what I got. So the Simpsons house, which retired, you see right here in 2017. I mean, that was in Lego terms, that was a long time ago. That was about 4 years ago, maybe 3.5. It all depends what month it retired. You're only talking about 187%. Where if you compare that next to the crafting box that was only sitting on the shelf for 13 months or so, waiting to have a high return on investment before you released it. I mean, I don't know why people would buy the Simpsons houses. I didn't. I mean, I bought the Simpson houses, and I was in the same boat. And I don't even think I got any Simpson houses for discount. I think I got one, to be honest, but I didn't get many. So then we have the tumbler, and the pencil holder actually didn't beat the tumbler, but I was ready, folks. I know there's some brick pickers on here that watch this video, and I was getting ready to clown them, but it didn't happen. So the pencil holder comes in at 150%, but here's the deal, and this is something I am willing to bet money on, that once this pencil holder does retire, because it hasn't yet, I guarantee you it's going to hit 200% ROI long before the tumbler did. I guarantee it. And then finally, we have the Speed Champions Ferrari that I just talked about. Once again, it was only on the shelf for maybe 12, 13 months, and 200% return on investment. Again, the helicarrier that retired in 2017. So, I do think that the smaller sets are a better investment. I know there are some large sets out there that are doing really well. So for the diner was not a $200 set, but I'll bring it up. The diner has done really well. I think it's going for maybe $350 right now on eBay, and that set retired, really only 5 minutes ago. It retired a couple months ago. And the reason why we buy the smaller sets is because you will have more consistent high return on investments than you will the larger sets. And that's what we want. We want the consistency. We want the return on investments somewhere, best case scenario, around 250% to 350%. Those would be great. And it's also achievable if you know what you're doing. Hope you enjoyed the video, my friends. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Once again, I'm Jim with BrickBucks.net. Always go out there and get it.